Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday. We got a lot going on today. Of course, a lot of clubhouse stuff. Been invited to speaking a few times today, podcasts, answering today. But Friday's training is byoq in the context of what I love to do. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. I'll ask me anything. I'll answer anything. That's our Friday training, 11 a.m. Pacific time. At 6 a.m. Pacific, we have the Breakfast of Champions with Glenn Lundy and Dave Meltzer, my favorite clubhouse, and we're having a great time there. So happy Wednesday, Nick, Jake, good to see you. Colleen, good morning. Mikey, let's go. I got your text message. Very exciting news in the D Meltzer enterprise front. Let's pin this up here. If anyone wants to come to trainings or the Breakfast of Champions or wants my guides, my exercises, my books, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. Both are pinned below, right down here. david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Awesome. Let's go. Everybody's saying, all right, we got questions coming in fast. We got guests coming in faster. What is your favorite conference you have spoken at in the past? I went to the MDRT, the $1 Million Roundtable in Sydney, Australia. Spoke at the Sydney Theatre. It was incredible and really enjoyed that. One of the best. The Denny's annual meeting at the Mandalay Bay, which was incredible as well. Thrive is another one of my favorites. Great crowd, the Thrive crowd. If you're out there, give me a thumbs up, the Thrive crowd. One of the best audiences I've ever spoken in front of. Of course, the TV show that we filmed, we had a live event as well for the world's greatest motivators with Sugar Ray Leonard and Bob Proctor and Jack Canfield and John Asseroff and Mary Morrissey and Cynthia Kersey and Blaine Bartlett, and everybody just went on and on and on. World's greatest motivators, one of the best experiences. How to change bad habits, please. Look, we don't change habits. We create habits. So a habit is something that you create, and so it takes a minimum of 21 days to create a habit. It could take 21 lifetimes as well, determinative upon your quantum memory of how much you've downloaded into your quantum DNA. That's why some people can't get rid of certain things. So we have minutes and moments outside of those habits, but we want to increase the amount of time that we spend in that habit that we want to effectuate according to our values. SDSU speaking coming up at Nick. I'm going to speak at SDSU. I love that place. It must be the sports business side of things. Very excited. Great entrepreneurial school as well. As we're working in, all my guests, thank you for being here. And we'll get started with bringing in some guests in about a few minutes here. I want to answer some questions. Get warmed up for Friday. BYOQ, you bring the questions, I'll bring the answer. Ask me anything. I'll answer anything. It's Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. Join me, david@dmeltzer.com. 6 a.m. Pacific time, our clubhouse, Breakfast of Champions. You'll be amazed who shows up. If you could interview anyone, who would you pick? Dead or alive? Obama alive, dead, Jesus. Or Einstein. Can't decide which one. Probably Jesus, just because I could get everyone to come together more if we could get the answers right from Jesus' mouth. Anyway, I move on. What's the biggest misconception that entrepreneurs have? Time. Entrepreneurs do not understand aggregated growth, acceleration, exponential growth. They don't understand how things happen and they quit. It takes you 90% of the time it's supposed to take you to get to 100% of the way there, to get to 25%. Then the next 5%, it doubles again to 50. Then the next 5%, it doubles again to 100. So from 0 to 25% takes 90% of the time it's supposed to take you to get to where you want to be. And that is the biggest problem with entrepreneurs. They do not understand that. So they start listening to other people. They start listening to the negative voices. They start doubting themselves, which attracts negativity, instead of having faith that attracts positivity and it appreciates itself. It accelerates itself. It helps you. So it's a very simple thing to enjoy the consistent every day, persistent without quit, pursuit of your potential by knowing your what, finding who has it, knowing your who, your how, your now, and your why. The what, the who, the how, the now, and the why. That's what you got to learn. I have those 5 daily practices. Happy to send you a guide or my book to teach you those things, to take possibilities to probability to perspective. David@dmeltzer.com. It's very simple. Personally, email me, David@dmeltzer.com. It's pinned right below here. And you can join my text community to stay up to date on all the trainings, the clubhouses, all the speeches, 949-298-2905. All right, let's have my friend join us here from Tenzo T, Steve Odell. Are you in the house there? Oh, right on time. How do you like that? And thank you so much, Steve, co-founder of Tenzo T, and he's here to talk about how we've transitioned and how you grow a business with a great business. How are you?
Hey, good morning, David. How's it going?
Amazing. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. I've been jamming out on a bunch of your content this morning. A lot of good stuff, man. I'm a big fan.
What's your favorite takeaway?
I
Not to
like
put you on the spot.
no, I mean, I like your take on mindset and honestly kind of what you're just saying about, falling in love with the daily pursuit and, staying super persistent. I mean, I live by that, so big fan.
Yeah, well, you and I share one thing as well. I love your humble entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's so cool because I have 2 words. It used to be my 2 code words were thank you. And I tell people to say thank you before they go to bed, thank you when they wake up. And I've had to replace it because gratitude is so ingrained in my being. I had to replace it with radical humility, which is the humble entrepreneur. And you have, this unbelievable messaging around the humility of an entrepreneur. What does that mean to you and how much does it mean to you?
Yeah, good question. It means a few different things. So like first I think like you kind of hinted at gratitude. I found that to be like a super powerful way for me to stay motivated and happy and fulfilled despite, kind of the ups and downs that happen with like building a company. And then secondly, I got this tip from my friend Cliff Weisman who runs Speechify. But if you're feeling like distracted or, you're losing track of what you need to be doing during a day, one of the best ways to like do something off track, but to get back on track is to text someone you love or give them a call, like call your dad and be like, hey dad, love you. Thanks for all you do to support me. It kind of gets your mind in that reset. But yeah, so I do like little things like that and also just writing down what I'm grateful for. And, that really helps me keep going. And then the last part of it is just like understanding where I am in the world, I'm just one guy and this is a big place, and so I try to be grateful for what I have and try to give back through entrepreneurship to help support other people.
Yeah, no, and you really have. And your product's so aligned with my belief system. You and your partner, Robbie, you guys, did you both drop out of UCLA in the last semester?
No, Robbie graduated. So he's 2 years older and he went on to play first in Italy for a year professionally and then professional volleyball. And then he played, a year or 2 on the AVP playing around the US on the beach.
Right on. That's not a bad life. But the product itself, deals with the alpha waves, the mental waves. I meditate every day. I use theta meditation. So I'm very attuned with the vibrations of my mindset beyond what my mindset is. And I think one of the things I'm most notable for, if Tyreek Hill is notable for his incredible speed, mine would be for my incredible energy throughout the day for a middle-aged mutant turtle. I always say even 4-year-olds have a problem keeping up with me all day long because I don't crash. And, I'm always looking for the right products that are not going to deter from my connection, right? Because I believe I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I am happy. I have more power within me to light up a city. It's what am I doing to interfere with it? And so many people take caffeine products and weird stuff, and then they wonder why they have this drop off and especially in their energy. And for me, I plateau and grow all day long, even with my energy. Your product is so aligned with that. It understands brain waves. It understands energy. Let me know, besides being organic, vegan, and kosher, which is a great marketing feature, why energetically is it such a great product?
Yeah, so matcha, like you said, it has an amino acid called L-theanine, so which releases the caffeine in your bloodstream. So instead of this coffee or energy drinks where you get like a roller coaster, you're going up, 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 and then you mentioned that crash. You don't really feel that, so you really get like 4 to 6 hours of long-lasting energy. There's no crash at all. So it makes you just feel a lot better. We like to say it's a calm, focused energy. And then on the meditation side, I mean, we've had Olympic level athletes that drink it before they meditate, and they wear this thing called a muse, which tracks your brainwaves.
They're one of my partners too. Yeah, I wear a Muse.
Yeah, yeah. And so he drank one day. He did it. We had just given him Tenzo, and he was meditating every day with the muse. And then one day his muse score was like off the charts, like really good. And he looked back at his daily journal. He's like, what did I do differently today? And the only thing different was he had a cup of Tenzo like 30 minutes before. And, it was a real game changer for him. And that kind of spread, like, because they share each other all the tips and stuff. So it was good.
Yeah, and I mean, jitters, anxiety, but for me, the ability to refocus by having that clear connection and be able to plateau and grow during the day, utilizing. Now, I got to go back to a personal question, just because
Yeah.
coming from the mom I had, one of the things, I had a friend who was in the movie The Secret, Lee Brower, and he used to always tell me I was one class away from graduating from law school. And I always told him, I'm like, dude, don't tell people that, because to me, it's like, how could you not just go back and take that one class when you're
Yeah.
one semester away from graduating UCLA? Are you planning on going back, or did you have pressure from your parents? I know you're so focused in on your business, but someday, is that something you want to complete? And were there a lot of pressure from your parents were they like, are you kidding me, when you said
Yeah.
you're going to drop out?
Yeah. I mean, I I don't feel any pressure to go back right now. Especially with the lessons I've learned in the last few years building Tenzo. But when it happened, it was highly controversial. Um, Friends, even my best friends at UCLA were like, "What are you doing?" And they had a big graduation party just a few months later, and I was just like, all their parents thought I was crazy. My parents thought I was insane, and I would say it was a process of earning back the trust over time. But I really believed in myself, and I was kind of inundated in like this really conservative mindset of like, you go to college, you get a job, all these things. And I believed that. And, that led me to UCLA, and that was really good. But during college, I fell in love with entrepreneurship and met some new friends that, thought about the world a little bit differently. And I had a really good professor that, the best class I ever did in school, by the way, was an entrepreneurship class. I was not the best student, but I took a
Was
class where
I
we got to,
visiting? Did you get to hear me visit there? I go there every year. Did you get to hear me
I,
speak?
I didn't actually, but I
Ah,
would have loved to
okay.
come.
Then your parents can't blame me for you leaving.
Yeah, you're off the hook, but it took a while to build back the trust with my parents, my dad especially. We were like best friends, and I like really went against the grain with this one, so that was
Yeah.
tough.
I'm a parent myself. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and reading about you and that part of it, I was like back and forth. But I've come to an epiphany because of you,
Okay.
that I've noticed about people that have dropped out of prestigious schools. And my brother went to med school there. My sister went there. My brother-in-law went there. I would have probably been at UCLA, but for they didn't let me play football for some reason, so I had to go to Occidental to play football.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't want me to play there, but that's a whole nother story. But here's what I started thinking. All the great entrepreneurs that I know that had dropped out of prestigious schools, the reason they're successful is that in order to drop out of those prestigious schools, they had to have an extraordinary desire to be what they must be. And they also have a skill set to not want what other people want for them. They also have a skill set to not see what's missing in their lives. The only nuance in the evaluation of that for me was, gosh, when you're that close, right? Like
Yeah.
I in my mind, I'm just an obsessive OCD completion person. But I will tell you, I'm down with the times. I talk to more entrepreneurs than anyone, and credibility, emotional attachment, quantitative value of the education that you got. We both know in entrepreneurship, nobody gives a damn whether you graduated UCLA or not. In fact, it could be even a better marketing tool that you dropped out to build your credibility, that you know what you want to do. So kudos on you. I'm in full support of you. I think it's an indicator of why and how you're going to be so successful beyond your product, which is completely aligned with me. So you need anyone to promote. I don't care what, people in their comments can tell me what this thing, I think it tastes great, but I'm telling you, if you don't think it tastes great, it's still worth it. It's
Yep.
still worth it. Not everyone has the same taste, but I think it tastes great, but it's still worth it. There's some things that are so good and they help you so much that, I'm the guy that said he would shovel shit with his hands 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to buy his mom a house and a car.
Yes, sir.
I would drink this stuff if it sucked. It doesn't, but I would drink it if it does, because it does that much for me and is part of my plateau and growth strategy. So make sure, where can people find, I know we have tenzot.co, at Tenzot,
Yep.
Tenzot. Where else can they find you and Robbie?
Yeah, so Rob's big on Instagram, so I would shout out to Robbie. Make sure you go follow him there. And then my number one content channel is LinkedIn, and so I try to write and engage actively there. I really, big tip from you, David. Anyone on this can email me, steve@tenzot.co. I'm happy to help answer questions. I really like, David, that you put yourself out there in everything you do. That's a great sign. But yeah, check out our website. We're also in a bunch of cafes around the country. But yeah, thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, let's do more together. We're local, man, and I'm a big fan of yours as well. So you might get an email from me too. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Love it. Have a good one.
Good. Keep up the good work, buddy. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Very good guest, Steve Odell. Let me get a little personal in the family life. I like that. Illuminating. Steve at tenzot.co. Jake, make sure you reach out. I think there's some cool stuff we can do with Steve and Robbie and Tenzo. Obviously, in the brainwave side of things, in the Zen-like focus and clarity, but more importantly, the energy. It is a clear, certain items just clear the interference between you and what you already are. It clears the interference between you and that extraordinary energy that you have. Jocelyn, Jacqueline, how are you? Good to see you there. You're on fire as well. All right. What do I got here? I got a question from Jacqueline. Hey, that's cool. Hey, how about that? I was like, I recognize that name. Make sure at Green Tops. I assume this is the same. I have a different Jacqueline. I assume this is the same from Green. Let me see here. I apologize for the little hiccup. Ricky Bobby. I want to go live with Ricky Bobby. He got something tuned. All right, let's see if she wants to go live with me. I think this is the same person. My team gave me at Green Top Gifts. Jacqueline, I am making a guess here because my data is not aligned. Jacqueline, hopefully, Jake, this is who has a question for me. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, it's Jocelyn. Jackie Lynn. All right. Well, we'll go from there. Jake, I have someone coming in for a question. Is that where we're going? Oh, there we go. I'll get it this way. All right. Here we go. Jacqueline Rogers. Hello.
Hi, David.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm terrific. So nice to have you on here. And I thought maybe you could give me a little bit of a background on Green Top Gifts. And then I know you have a question for me.
Yes, so I'm Jacqueline, founder of Green Top Gifts, and we bring diversity to celebrations and parties through gift wrap, home decor, and unique apparel. And my question for you is, what advice would you give Green Top Gifts as we grow from a small business to a large business and a unique market?
Well, first of all, you're lucky to have a unique market, because unique markets, because of the size, scope, and scale of the general market, are better markets. Because in the past, when you had a unique market but just had a little shop that was in your town, you didn't have enough reach in order to effectuate a really profitable business. But now that you can access billions and billions of people, it's better to have a very unique market and, be the Dr. Pimple Popper out there that has, a specific niche that most people don't want anything to do with. But, all you need is a tiny percentage of billions of people and you'll be overloaded with business. In that respect, I have 3 stages of scaling your business. especially for freelancers, entrepreneurs, smaller businesses, because I think it's the greatest challenge because it has a duality of not only being frugal with your money, but also being able to have enough money to handle the growth. And it's just such a difficult transition. More companies go out of business, in my opinion, because of the potential success that they have than the failure that they're experiencing today, because it's such a jump to go from 0 to 30 million, 30 million to 100, 100 to 300 million, 300 million to a billion. And that could happen within a year. And those are the jumps that occur. And you go from, begging for pennies to, understanding how do I finance my inventory. It's incredible. So here's the 3 steps. Everyone, you can email me. I'm happy to give you the document as well. So Jacqueline, I'll send it to you. So there's 3 stages that you look at all the resources that you need in order to scale. The first is identify the learning stage. And that goes for employees. Identify how long does it take to learn how to use this software, to get to learn, to have the employee learn how to do what they're doing. Whatever, put it into the context of what period of time and how much money and resources does it take to have this person, place, or thing break even for me. Then execute, right? Now, how much money can I make or should I make in what time frame to execute on that? And then equity. Does this have an annuity, an equity, a value after putting the learning curve in there, the learning stage, the equity stage? Is there an annuity to that? Let me give you an example, which is the primary way that businesses are scaled through people. Your human capital is your most important capital. You want to make sure that your values and your attitude transcend all the growth that you're going to have with the people that you work with and through. So here's what it goes. Learning stage is when people can shadow you to start. Then execution stage is they work with you. Then the annuity stage is when you can supervise them and then drop off, and then you bring someone new in that shadows them, works with them, then they supervise them, then they drop off and they bring someone in new. And as you can see, the system grows. And you can do the same thing with resources, but start with the human capital necessary, but look at in the context of a learning stage of all resources, significant things that an office building, insurances. There's all these different areas that people don't realize there's a learning stage that needs to happen. And we have to evaluate and anticipate the time and resources necessary to at least get to a point to break even. And then you can evaluate what the execution of that is. I'm more than happy. I'll send you that document, and anyone out there, that document, you can just use it as a checklist for yourself in order to kind of remind yourself, okay, let me take 1 minute. Let me just see what my anticipation is of this. And youth will scale so quickly. You will track. Remember the mathematical equation of luck. Attention plus intention equals the coincidences you want. And I can tell you have the right attention and intention. So you have some great coincidences coming up in your future.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did that answer your question?
It totally did.
Oh, all right. Well, you reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Hold on. Let's promote you for a second. At Green Top Gifts. Make sure you reach out. Jacqueline Rogers, incredible entrepreneur. I'm sure so many people identify with where she's at with her business. Let's help her grow. Let's help her accelerate and help many people. A great cause, a great compassionate capitalist at Green Top Gifts. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.
Awesome guests, one after another. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I love every guest and the different energy that they have. It's like a different frequency that they're there. All right, let's take a few more questions before my friend Jeff comes on. How do you take a vacation every day? Well, first of all, you need to take inventory of your values and make it a non-negotiable, right? Just like I have non-negotiables of a minimum of an hour a day on my health, a minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, minimum of 30 minutes with my 10-year-old son, turning 11. And then a minimum of 2 minutes with my daughters, minimum 1, minimum with my mom, minimum of time studying my calendar. I have a minimum amount of time that I go on vacation every day. And it's 30 minutes now. It used to be 10, but I value it so much. It's 30 minutes that I go on vacation. So I actually use my higher power of thinking to plan something that I would do on vacation today. And yesterday it was take a nice half-hour walk with my dog out in the sun. I overlap, things just like I do on vacation, getting things done. But I will take my car out on the beach. I will, stretch, whatever things I relate or make relative to going on vacation, I do every single day. And therefore, I don't need to go off the grid for 6 weeks and spend a fortune to pretend like I need to rest. That to me means you don't have balance, and you are creating more interference when you get back of what you have to catch up on, which is probably why you have to take these long vacations, because you have to catch up when you get back. No, I make sure when I'm on vacation that I have activity I get paid for, activity I don't get paid for. My non-negotiables are all covered when I'm on vacation with my family, and I take vacation every day when I'm doing the majority of the activity that I get paid for. So working from there. All right, let me bring in, I thought I saw my entrepreneurial hero here. Let me see. Where'd he go? Let's see, view my request. No, where's my friend? He's here. I see him. Oh, there we are. Have you guys tried this stuff? Hairless Dog Brewing, and it's it's the equalizer. That's all I gotta say. If you love beers, it is an amazing tasting non-alcoholic beer, and Jeff and Paul have created an extraordinary beer for us to share on the days where we don't want to slow down. Hairless Dog Brewing, at hairless_dog_brewing. Hopefully we'll get him here. We're waiting for him to connect. Please connect, you darn internet, this Instagram thing. Here we go. drinkhairlessdog.com. Jeff Hollander, Hairless Dog. It is the premier non-alcoholic beer. So check it out. I will try. Steve's company, by the way, is Tenzo Tea. Someone was asking me that. I can see that question there. I love Green Top Gifts. I'm going to go through while we're waiting. Let me try one more time. All right, Jakey, let's make sure that Jeff is cool, and we got to get him on here because I love their beer, and you can drink it anywhere. Here we go. Favorite place you've ever lived? Here, man. My favorite place I've ever lived is right where I'm at. I am blessed to have 2 homes, but right where I'm at is my favorite place I've ever lived. I've had all types of different houses and penthouses and apartments and holes in the wall. And when I was little, I even slept on the window seal. That's not only how small I was, but how busy my house was and how small it was. But this is my favorite right here where I'm at right now. How many hours I sleep? I wake up at 4 a.m. and I start my unwinding routine at 9. Some days I pass out at 9:05, some days at 11. The latest I will go to bed is 11. The least amount of hours of sleep I get is 5. Sometimes I get up to 7 hours of sleep. So working on that. My friend Jeff, where are you, my friend? We will wait for you. I just got to get going to the studio. I got to film a speech today. How to properly ask CEOs of a company about upward mobility and job security when they have a history of not being collectively clear on opportunities. So sometimes we ask for information. Here we go. Let's try again. Sometimes we ask for information that people don't want to give us or they can't, and then we blame them for it. Hey, there he is.
Hello, how you doing?
Technology. I wish, this technology would work as well as your beer works.
Oh, thank you so much. I wish it did too, to be honest. I don't know what happens. All of a sudden I'm in, then it kicks me out. Who knows? But thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I think if beer worked the same way as technology, we would be drinking and then it would disappear.
So true, my friend.
It was like, wait a second, I had an ice cold hairless dog in front of me. Where did it go? It'd be like someone stealing it, and they're like, whoa, I got to start over again.
That's
Anyway,
what we love to hear.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming. I'm going to start off with, look, non-alcoholic beer is nothing new, but making it taste great is something new. Packaging and branding it correctly is something new. And being someone who has been around a lot of entrepreneurs in this space, you guys are doing it right. What were some of the things, I always say great business is either solve a problem or serve a need. I think you did both. Was that your intention when you both started out in the space, to figure out this problem of, why can't this stuff taste good, and fill a need of branding it correctly and making it taste good?
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me. My business partner and I had known each other we had been friends for about 15 years. And when we sort of reconnected at a holiday party and realized we were the only ones without drinks in our hands, we needed to know why. We're like, what's your story? What's wrong with you? Why do you not have a drink in your hands? You're in a social function. Why are you not drinking? And we found that just to be just as fascinating, the conversation around our relationship with alcohol. And neither of us identify as problem drinkers, but both of us, neither of us drink. So we knew there were more people like us. Sorry, my dog is walking into the frame.
Yeah,
It's kind of distracting me.
It's
COVID
2021,
times,
man. We expect
right?
dogs barking, side
Kids, yeah.
FedEx, Amazon ringing. We got it
Right.
all.
Yeah. Uber Eats will be here in a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so basically we knew there were more people like us out there. There wasn't a whole lot of data at that time. This was about 4 years ago. We first started talking here. Literally, her nose is in the picture. We started talking about this about 4 years ago, and there wasn't really a whole lot of data around who this customer was, why they were choosing non-alcoholic beer, what the choices were that informed them. We just knew there weren't a whole lot of options back then. So to us, we asked the question, why aren't there more options, and why is bringing non-alcoholic beer to a party so embarrassing? There were so many back then. There were so few choices. It said something about you when you brought it to a party. You know what I mean? And people wanted to know why. And if you were a woman, they just assumed you were expecting. And it just, to us, that felt unfair. There was nothing from a marketing perspective that we thought was interesting. Hairless Dog is about absolutely, being who you are. We want to be known for what we are rather than what we're not, which is a 0.0 beverage, which is also a differentiator to your point, fulfill a need.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because I'm a sporadic drinker. But I have so many events to go to. I fell into a trap of continually drinking because of the social pressure, because if I wasn't drinking, I didn't want to answer, why aren't you drinking? And then there's some suspicion that I was an alcoholic or I had a problem. Like you said, all these things. So I used to, instead of drinking O'Doul's before we had the Hairless Dog, I used to just pour, soda water in a lime. And I realized nobody ever asked me a question when I had soda water and a lime in my hand. And I would just be very clever about how I ordered it, so nobody heard me and said, "Oh, you're not drinking," and then expecting some kind of story, right?
Exactly.
Instead of just saying, "Hey, you know what? I just want to be productive tomorrow, and I love the taste of a good beer." And I think Hairless Dog for me was that first opportunity that not only could I do it, but if the questions came up, because of the way it's branding, if they actually do come up for me, it's, hey, because I love the taste of beer and I got a lot to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
Not that there's not some nights I have a nice glass of wine or a shot of Jägermeister, which is I'm partial to, which definitely has a lot more alcohol than the Hairless Dog, by the way. If anyone's out there, drink responsible. But I think you do. You serve a need. It's a perfect example of someone taking the time to serve a need and solve a problem. And there's so many opportunities out there to do that. What have you seen now that you guys have, launched and really gotten into the distinguished business? What have you seen that you didn't anticipate from serving that need and solving the problem?
That's a great question. I think that neither my business partner or I saw sort of the wind in our sails and the lift that we would get from the rising of the sober curious. That ended up being a trend that we did not see coming. So we thought that in the very beginning, we knew there would be people like us. I mean, there were probably people that wanted to make smart decisions because they had a big meeting the next day. We're tired of having to explain, to your point, David. Alcohol is the only, and again, we are not anti-alcohol. Most of our customers do enjoy a glass of wine or two once in a while, and Jägermeister too. I'm sure there's some fans out there as well. But it's the only drug that you have to explain why you don't do it. You know what I mean? Even if someone offers, if I go to someone's house and they offer me a glass of milk and I say, no, I'm dairy free, no one wants to know why or what happened or what my story is. But with beer or wine, you have to be ready to go with the story. Which we find fascinating. But in that light, we saw sort of as people become more conscious about what they put in their bodies more than ever before, people want new options, and the rise of the sober curious is here. People say, well, what's it like? I've tried cutting it out for January and not having any alcohol in January. And now there's, sober October is now a thing, dry July. Mindful March is right around the corner. So people are questioning what they're putting in their bodies more than ever before. And that includes examining alcohol.
Yeah, I used to live, especially with the Super Bowl and the NBA All-Star Game and other things, I would call it effed up February. I didn't have one day I was sober in February. But
are you choosing February to not drink because it's the shortest month? We heard that one recently too.
Right, you got Black History Month. No, I'm only going to drink black ale in honor of which, to me, one of the other things that you did as we finish up is I love the fact that you have your signature products mixed, right? I've never understood, like, when you have quality products and you're serving a 6-pack or a 12-pack, why you wouldn't want to have the black ale, the Citra Lager, and the IPA all in there, because you have different audiences, different people. And I think there's the semi-sober that you address, which is an area that nobody's really exploited, which I've had in conversations when I'm drinking yours, is that there's a lot of people that they drink, but they don't want to have the pressure of drinking. Mm-hmm. And they want to have an option of the taste and the social side without having to feel bad the next day. And I think, that's a huge market of people that, really just want to sit there. I'm a sports guy, so I'm going to use my analogy. There's a bunch of people on a Sunday that want to sit there and watch the game and not be destroyed that night or the next morning, and just sit with their buddies from college or high school and reenact what they were doing and have that same energy, the same feel, the same tastes, and without what we felt like, in our fraternities on Monday mornings after big Super Bowl Sundays or whatever they were. So I think that was a great move to mix the products, to provide the semi-sober as well as the sober, a really high quality product that serves a need. And any last things that you want to say, where to find it? I know it's getting distributed everywhere now, but any last comments before I let you go?
I would thank you for your time, and I would ask people to consider us a part of most of our customers do identify as drinkers from time to time as well. So we're not here to tell everybody what is best for you. We're here to make a delicious alternative to beer that we think is a fantastic lineup, and a lot of more surprises to come. And you can find us on drinkhairlessdog.com. 2021 is going to be a fun year, and hope to see you out soon.
Yeah. I mean, how many people can drink a black ale or, an IPA with no alcohol and taste the exact same or even better? So take it from me. It does. I appreciate you giving me, as being a semi-sober person, the opportunity and option to enjoy myself with my friends. I really appreciate it. Come back anytime, my friend. And Jeff Hollander at hairless_dog_brewing and drinkhairlessdog.com. Thanks so much. Come back on and see me. Okay, Jeff?
The pleasure's mine. Thanks, David.
Take care. Have fun.
You too.
There's a man who understands entrepreneurship, solving a problem and filling a need. Sharon Lecter taught that in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Solve a problem and serve a need. If you think the pandemic doesn't have opportunities, then think about how many problems there are to solve and how many needs there are to fill. And you'll get very excited about the pandemic and what we're doing here. All right. Let me answer a quick question. Then I got to get going. I got to get on stage. Here we go. Last question for the day. Friday's trainings, ask anything. So come back then, 6 a.m. Breakfast of Champions on Clubhouse. David at dmeltzer.com, pin below. 949-298-2905. Hi, any tips on starting a manufacturing business? Yes, know the what of manufacturing and then find the who. So make sure that the form factor, the quality control, all the different things in manufacturing, that you have an expert that is helping you so you avoid the dummy tax. So many people are oversold, undersold, manipulated, lied to, and cheated in starting an entrepreneurship of manufacturing because they don't have someone protecting them. Find advice. Go ahead, reach out to me. I'll help you find the right people, because there's a lot of different dummy tax to be paid, and you could solve it if you know what you want to manufacture, personally, experiential, giving and receiving. Find the who. The who in this space is especially important. There's so many opportunities to get the best quality control, distribution, manufacturing, form factors, a variety of different things. Manufacturing legends. Go ahead, reach out. That'd be great. David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Download the playbook. All of the trainings are there. Celebrities, athletes, entertainers, millionaires, billionaires, all are on there. Getting up to 700 episodes. So check them out. The playbook, download it, share it, like it. It'll have all the information you need. Everything I have for you, books, exercises, guys. I'll send you a book. I'll sign it. Get the staging and scaling a business, 5 to Thrive system. Just reach out. It's free. David@dmeltzer.com. Most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I'll see you later.